This is Dolany TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel this afternoon. As while you're here for the big old news that's finally down the pipe this afternoon as of about 3 hours ago. I know I'm getting to it just now, but forgive me, I do have to work at some point after a great fun weekend that All-Star weekend was, of course, with us being able to watch that Connor McDavid documentary. That said, the big news you're looking for is the Matt Benning news. He is back, activated from long-term injured reserve conditioning with the Bakersfield Condors, so that is what we have to get to. Number one in today's video is, of course, the Bakersfield Condors stat line for Mr. Matt Benning, if I can get my breath under me today. Whew, a little wiped out, I could say. So Matt Benning, of course, where did he factor in today with the Bakersfield Condors? Hold on, let me go get back to it. I saw it there for a second. Mr. Matt Benning, 3 games played. He skipped the last one because it was his plan. All along, the plan was 3 games played with the Condors. He had 1 assist. He was a +1. And then, of course, he had 2 penalty minutes and 4 shots on net. So you like to see that out of Matt Benning, right? Obviously, the shots on net is my category. I really like to judge Matt Benning by, because we so often, my complaint is see him shooting the puck from the point and missing it on the corner, or else dropping it down for a rebound. And well, you know what, with Matt Benning so far this season, down there at 24 games played, he's had a total, yes, only a total of 10 shots all year long, or pardon me, 18 shots. Kyler Yamamoto only has 10 shots in 8 games. Man, we need him shooting the puck too. But 5 assists for Matt Benning. Sorry, hard to read on the stats page of the Edmonton Oilers. That said, we do have to get ourselves set for what's coming in our way on Wednesday. She's going to be an absolute nightmare fuel for the NHL, as long as everything comes true from what we've heard in the interviews. This, that, and the other thing, right? This is going to be probably the most anticipated regular season game we have had in a long while. And it's crazy how it's happened, right? Let's go back through the history of the Battle of Alberta to start this year, right? December 27th, an absolute dud. Guys, that one was boring. That one was terrible. The Oilers stunk. The game stunk. The atmosphere, everything stunk about that one. But then all of a sudden, things changed when we got ourselves into Calgary. And I said it. I called it the old building, right? The old building, the bad blood that's staining the walls, the ice, the concrete under the ice. She just seems to get some kind of bad omens going. And my goodness, things reignited, as they have a couple of times over last year. Things got going in that 4-3 Calgary win. That said, yes, 100%. Calgary deserved to win that game. If you were in the building, you would have known. Calgary deserved to win that game. We cost ourselves that game, right? Turnovers high, low, and just about everywhere. We cost ourselves that game in the score sheet. But my goodness, have we created quite something between Zach Kassian and Matthew Tkachuk. But greater than that, the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames, the rivalry, the Battle of Alberta, the bad blood. Baby, she is back. And that is to my next point here, where Buddy Robinson of the Calgary Flames has been recalled from the Stockton Heat. He's a leading goal scorer in 16 goals in 40 games for the Stockton Heat. But what you need to know about Buddy Robinson, just let me go get you his elite prospect stat sheet, because you're going to like this. How about 6'6", 231 pounds? My goodness. That guy is a big kid. And of course, what you need to know as well, 54 penalty minutes in 40 games. So he's not exactly the biggest, like, I wouldn't call you a throwback scrapper by any means, but he's adding size to that lineup. And let me tell you, that definitely throws a little bit different of a threat our way. 28 years old, Buddy Robinson. He's had 7 games prior experience in the NHL, apparently. 4 with the Ottawa Senators in 2016-17, and then, of course, 3 in 15-16. So not exactly a Calgary draft pick by any rights, but a guy who signed with the Calgary Flames right now. So interesting go right there, as Buddy Robinson, aka Charles Robinson, so it'll be interesting to see which name they use for him. But Buddy right there, that's going to be a good time. So that's the size advantage for Calgary. Now, you go look at the Calgary Flames roster. Who do they have and how do they stack up? Well, let's get to it. As teams wise, Calgary Flames right there. This is going to be a good one for you to know. Matthew Tkachuk, number 1. Milan Lucic, number 2. Number 3, I guess you could throw on there Sam Bennett. Number 4, Mark Jankowski. Number 4, Andrew Mangiapane. I think I've got a toss-up between which of those last two are the actual scrapper there, but I know a couple of them are likely to tango. Buddy Robinson up front, and of course, Zach Ronaldo as well. So, realistically, out of anyone, what are you expecting? You'd expect Lucic, Robinson, you'd expect Ronaldo, just based on size, just based on history. So, let's have some fun with that, shall we? That's going to be good. You know what? Calgary getting into it. That's what we like to see. A little bit of Edmonton getting under their skin and trying to protect their guys, right? Obviously, on the back end, they don't really have anyone that's going to scare you too much. And realistically, they don't have anyone out of the lineup that's going to scare you too much. So that's a good go as well. So huge for the Oilers right now that they have gotten this reaction out of the Calgary Flames. Now, I think Calgary actually plays St. Louis on the 28th, so this could be just a move for the game against St. Louis. But that said, if it is indeed a move for the game against the Edmonton Oilers, that's going to be very good indeed, because let me tell you, I'm looking forward to a bloodbath on, well, hopefully Wednesday the 29th. But that said, like I said, it's Calgary against St. Louis on the 28th, right before we get going. So it could be to stack the cards a little bit for Edmonton, or it could just be to fill a roster spot for the game against St. Louis. Who really knows? But that's aside. Now you've got the war of words and stuff, guys. What can you realistically expect in terms of things, right? You've got Matt Benning, so you've got a fully healthy, fully ready to go Edmonton Oilers lineup against a lineup of the Calgary Flames that's now a little bit more size stacked. For the Oilers, we've got Zach Kassian. We've got Jujhar Khaira, who's more than likely to be back in the lineup. We've got Darnell Nurse. So we've got guys willing to go in our team as well. Technically, 3 guys that are just as capable of doing the job as the other 3 guys on the other side. In fact, I'd like my Kassian, Khaira, Lucic, Nurse over Lucic, Ronaldo, and Robinson. Seriously, I call me crazy, but I'd take those gambles 100% of the time. And you think a guy like Adam Larson or any of these guys may be willing. Alex Chiasson would actually be an outside opportunity I'd take. He's taken some undisciplined penalties for being a little bit over aggressive before, so I'd take somebody who might be scrapping that wouldn't normally scrap for us this year. So it's going to be good. January 29th, we're 2 days away. The excitement's here, the excitement's building, and let me tell you, if you can't already smell how good of a game it's going to be at Rogers Place, I don't know what you are missing, because ooh, yeah, she's going to be a good one. Let's just quickly, I want to go tell you this stat, because you need to know this right now. Is I'm going to ask you the over-under on the old game sheet for the game against Calgary. The other game, so team stats, what you need to know is the Oilers in total took 14 penalty minutes January 11th against the Calgary Flames. The Flames took a total of 2 minutes. You tell me, is there going to be a few more penalty minutes than that against the Calgary Flames this time out, January 29th in our building? There dang well better be, let me tell you, because there can't be. You can't have all this war words, all of this calamity, the stuff at the All-Star break, if you want to make anything of that. You can't have all of that if you have nothing on the 29th. The 29th, everything has to come to a head. I know it's advocating for violence. I know it's advocating for stuff we're trying to take out of the game, but you're going to hype it up. You have to deliver. That's all I'm saying. Is the Battle of Alberta has been lackluster for several years now. You have to deliver when the moment is critical, and the moment is critical January 29th in Edmonton against the Calgary Flames. That's all it comes down to, is the moment's critical, time to deliver, get the job done. Then it makes the pressure for the February 1st game in Calgary taken off, right? If everything's satisfied, or it makes February 1st even friggin' better. And let me tell you, what kind of game would that be to go to? I'd love to go to, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make it down. But we'll be live streaming both, and we'll be having a rowdy heck of a time on YouTube during those 2 games. Guys, I'm Tyson. This is Stolany TV. I hope this gets your excitement level up a little bit more. Somebody's got to stay off the tracks, if you know what I mean. I am up on out of here.